Alright gamers, today we're checking out some of this week's best Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail memes. Let's go. Does anyone else remember Heaven Sword Good, Stormblood Shadowbringers Endwalker, Dawntrail ruined Final Fantasy XIV? Yeah, okay, so this is from the shitpost Reddit, so obviously it sounds super serious, but please, new story arc. No world building, only constant payoffs. I know people have been complaining they're not loving Dawntrail, but you know, I've been loving it. It's alright, it's not that bad. We are so heckin' back. Dawntrail, and then below we got the Stormblood. They're eating it. It's like, ooh, Stormblood. Dawntrail tastes so good when you ain't got a bitch in your ear telling you it's nasty. You know, I think mechanically, it's actually so far the best out of all the expansions. The new abilities they've added, they've only added a handful, but I think it's made the rotations really interesting. I've been loving the, what do you call it, the Scribblenaught, Pictomancer. I think Pictomancer feels really, really good right now, and I know healing feels pretty good too. They added the extra damage buttons, and I love that. The Sage AoE dots, absolutely incredible. The White Mage, the modifications to, what do you call it, Presence of Mind. We get those 3 big blasts. I think it makes dungeons a lot more fun. Old animations working perfectly with the graphical update. Oh, nice. Whoa, what the heck? That was kind of freaky. This almost looks like a Source Engine kind of meme, but it is real. I've seen some other creators talking about this. It's pretty funny. How are the job changes going for you all? The new expansion, what did you get? I call forth my Moogles upon my foes. I can move my ley lines. Will you? No. Sounds about right. What about you, Warrior? What did you get? I can hit things with my fell cleave more. Oh, this is the happiest day of my life. You know, Warriors, they got a Zug. They got to Zug hard, and they've given us the ability to Zug even harder. I love playing as Warrior. Again, I said this in the last meme, I think 14, like Dawntrail, mechanically feels really good. I can't wait to get to some of the higher level content, because I think, I hope I'm right, you know, I hope I'm even more right. So, it feels good in the casual content, so let's see how it is in the raids and the extreme and savage content. Society has evolved beyond the need for party buffs. Time for selfish DPS supremacy. I agree. I don't even have to get too far. Buffless party compositions. In addition to Viper, it is now possible to have an 8-player party with no party buffs. This comp would consist of 2 tanks, Sage, White Mage, Samurai, Viper, Mechanist, and Black Mage. With this comp, there is no need to optimize the rotation around feeding potency into party buffs. Instead, ensure that the basic rules of the job are followed. Put extra potency, if possible, into your own potion windows, but remember that trying to fit 3. No, you have to pool your resources for the 2-minute burst window for my heckin' RDPS. You can't just clear without learning the optimal rotation. Oh boy, 50 gauge, time to go into fun mode again. Yeah, I have mixed feelings on this because I do think that like knowing the optimal like way of playing in a group setting definitely heightens the skill ceiling, which I think is dope because like obviously you can still clear the content if you're not most optimal, but if you want to be the best, you have to learn how to be most optimal. But also on the other hand, I'm a big believer in doing what's most fun as an individual player, and I think that it's important that each individual player for a raid mechanic for a savage has to be on their best. They have to be playing their best, and I think if you're focused on your own, you're gonna perform well. You're gonna have fun. And I really do view Savage Raids as like 8-player Dark Souls kind of content, where it's like, okay, like we're all in this together, like we can't die as a group, but you have to perform the best alone in order for the whole group to succeed, you know? Like you have to dodge all the mechanics, and you have to know your rotation, which I think is really cool. I think that's really good game design. But also, it's also cool to have those party buffs where you gotta be most optimal, chat. The Pictomancer downtime experience. The boss teleported away! The boss teleported away and you're playing a Scribblenaught. Dude, I love it. Scribblenaught, aka Pictomancer, amazing job. I played it for the first time. I've only done a couple raids, and I did a bunch of different maps in my FC, and I thought it plays really well. It's like Summoner, but you can't cast while moving except for a handful of abilities. So I love it. I think it's a really well-designed job. Story Andes versus gamers. I don't like Wooklamat. Dawntrail is mid. I guess this is the story person. And then over here, obviously this is the gamer. New jobs, new raids, new deep dungeon, new field missions, new ultimate. Story Andy's mad. I do agree, Wooklamat is kind of annoying. I haven't beaten the story yet. I'm a little bit after the first dungeon as of making this video. But I do think, I'm gonna say this 100 million times. Mechanically speaking, the game feels great. I don't know if I need to say more than that. Again, I'll figure it out when I get there, but I'm really excited for the endgame content for Dawntrail. Very excited. I'm not really much of a story gamer to begin with, so I'm a little biased, but I did love Shadowbringers and Endwalker. Amazing stories, obviously. I really enjoyed my time, but ultimately, when you're playing MMOs, the story for the average player is probably the thing you're not doing the most. Well, actually, I can't really speak for 14. There are a lot of 14 story players, but I know for me, I'm all about getting into those raids and just pumping as hard as I can, you know? That's what I'm all about. An issue when playing as Viper, where in the action, Serpent's Tail cannot change to another action when the player is affected by 31 or more status effects. Party member with 31 buffs to give him. Viper about to go into his 2-minute window. Oh my god, that's so funny. Is it still doable? I would love to try this out on one of my Viper main buddies. That'd be so funny just to unleash this on them. Are you guys ready to go to South America? Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. Soon. Dawntrail, we got Ian, Slay Queen, we got the WoW player in here, hating that we're having a good time. Oh, we got if you guys don't get this one, Blizzard they removed all the paintings of overly sexualized images with pictures of like fruits. And who is this? Is this Metzen down here? That's pretty funny. So good. New roulettes be like high-level dungeons roulette. Looks inside, Satasha hard. I've had this a few times. I guess all they really did was take the jazz Rolo, at least that's what I would call it. It's the 50, 60, 70, 80, like 5, 6, 7, 8 jazz, and replace it with just high level, because it can't be 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. Just high level dungeon. But it is kind of funny that you can still get like level 50 dungeons in there. So, you know, whatever's clever.